Hi, Chuck Etheridge here with week 6 of English 3301, and we're well on our way on our journey. Got some rough drafts in. I realize that sounds like a dog or something, rough, but we got rough drafts in. I'm talking about a couple of those just as samples, and I am going to respond to each of you all individually. But I have some general comments that I wanted to share with you all as well. So I'm talking about that in a minute. We have completed discussions of design or visual elements and how they can greatly enhance communication or hinder communication in some ways. And we're turning our attention to style. And remember, when we're talking about style in professional technical writing, we're not just saying, oh, this is my personal style, because there is room for the personal, there is room for you to sound like you, but we are mostly focused on giving the reader the information they need to make the decision they need to make, or to take the action that they need to take as well. So a lot of it has to do with, some of it's getting rid of those extra words as we did some exercise on, but a lot of it is the way you structure and organize your messages, which is very different from academic writing. And we're going to do a couple of readings on that as well. So that's kind of what's up on deck for this week. And I'm going to give you all individual responses for your field guides drafts, but I want to look at a couple of samples with you. So I'm going to be sharing screens, and I'm going to be kind of popping back with different people. This is, we got one example from, this is the first one that popped up from Emma. She's got a lot of nice things going on here. We've got some nice designs. We've got different categories. We've got different use of colors, so the separate sections are clear. This student has, she's doing attorney and communication guide as well. And she's doing some interesting things. We've got, so our categories are correspondence, private use documents, pleadings, and memoranda. So she's got separate categories or kinds of writing that she's talking about, which I think are good. And then she's identified 10 kinds of documents, and then she's going to begin to describe them in terms of purpose. So far, so good. I realize it's early in the process with some nice design elements, but she needs to fit everything on one page. I need to talk about how to do that. My only concern about this is a little bit hard to read. Not a huge deal. You can fix it one of two ways. She can either lighten this a little bit, or another fix, she could just change this font to white, and notice how easy it is to read now as well. But a good start there. I like a lot of things I like that are going on as well. My main comment so far is let's fit it all on one page, and I'm going to show you at the end of this video how to redesign your table so everything fits on one page. So good start so far. I'm going to stop sharing this video, and I'm going to go to, I'm sorry, not this video, this screen. I'm going to share another document, the second one that came in, and this one was this one. Now the student wants to be a teacher and a coach, and he has done this vertically, meaning in the traditional way in portrait rather than in landscape, and we want our charts to all fit horizontally on one page as well. So this would need to be reformatted as well. But notice he's got a lot of interesting things going on. He's got different categories, disciplinary. He's got like 5 different categories of disciplinary. These all need to be one box, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute. But his categories are disciplinary writing, educational writing, and athletic kinds of writing, which for someone who wants to be a teacher and a coach seems very reasonable as well. So you've got the document is beginning to describe the audience, beginning to get at the purpose in the media as well. So he's beginning to describe these documents in terms of their characteristics. Looking pretty good so far. One thing I'll note, since we're going to read a little bit about parallelism in style, note that we begin serves, request, to serve, to serve. You want to have a parallel style. You want to use the same structure throughout the column. So if you want to do serves, you want everything to be in the present tense. If you want to do the gerund to serve, you want to do everything like that as well. And it's not that one way is better than the other, but you want to be consistent or parallel in the way you structure things in your chart. But again, an awfully good start. biggest concern is this is now, it's all on 2 pages, and it's formatted differently than I'd asked for, but content wise, looking good as well. I'm going to look at one more, and I'm going to share this one. This student, a lot of nice things going on. Notice you've got she wants to be a scientific researcher. You've got the overall job named as well. You've got your different categories in your columns as well. Notice she's used complementary but contrasting colors as well in some of the different types of writing. She's got applications, articles, writing between colleges, and reports. Pretty good. And then she's done a pretty thorough job of describing what they are, who the audience is. Pretty good with purpose. One structure, she's done 2 pretty consistently throughout, but this one is to apply to a job, to apply for a position or something like that as well. Got the media, and then she's beginning to get into special characteristics, ethical issues, and in this case, other or reference. So good start. Nice content as well. But you know, I'm going to say needs to be formatted in landscape rather than portrait as well. So I'm going to stop sharing that. I'm going to share one other example with you. This is another sample of the kind that I've already shared one with you as well. This is another student example of the work that's been done. It was turned in a couple semesters ago, and they did a good job. This student also wanted to be a university professor, chair of the physics department, and so he chose similar categories to the other example that we looked at: proposals, internal, external. And again, each of these authors are choosing different categories, and that's fine as well. But he's got the description of the document, the audience, the purpose, media, document features, unethical activities and references. He's done some interesting things with color. Although you can't see it quite as well on this screen, this is a little yellow to contrast with the white. Has some graphics, and he's got a watermark on the back, which is a physics equation as well. But a couple other features I'll notice as well. There are boxes around each of the major categories, heavy boxes. So the physical characteristics or the physical sections of the different kinds of documents are separated a little bit from one another as well. And things are centered horizontally and vertically. I'm not going to go through all of that as well. I'm going to show that in the video that I do on Friday, but some nice features. So I'm going to stop sharing this, and I'm going to show you just a little bit about table design as well. And I'm going to go, sorry, I'm going to go back to sharing this real quick, this example that we just looked at. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 columns, 8 up and down rows, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 horizontal rows. So 8 columns, 12 rows as well. And that's going to be important in a minute, because we're going to make a new document. And again, I'm sorry, switching back between screens as well, but this is a function of the way my desktop works. Nothing to do with you all. So I'm going to share what's going to be a blank screen. And so we've got a blank screen. So we're going to talk about designing and making a chart. So we're going to go over here to our menu. We're going to insert. I gotta move me around here on the page. Insert a table. So we got a table. We're going to insert table, and we're going to make our own table. So we have what, 8 columns, 8 rows up and down. We have 12 rows across. And the biggest problem that people have making these things is getting things to fit on one page. The way to get this to work is to auto fit to contents. So the students, so whatever's in the chart takes as much room in that chart and no more. So I'm going to insert this. So right away, it's small. So I'm going to use, it's going to be a little bit awkward to me switching back and forth. So I'm going to do some things here as well. So I'm going to, so we all know this needs to be one big thing, right? This is the title of whatever it is. So I'm going to, I highlight them all, I right click and I merge the cells. So the top row has become one set of cells. So I'm gonna, you're not gonna see me do this. It's gonna stay on that. Let's see. So I'm gonna go to this one, that 10 documents rough draft, teacher coach communication guide. I'm gonna copy that. I'm gonna go back to the one that you're seeing, which is that document, and I'm gonna just paste the title. I'll probably highlight it a little bit, maybe make it a little bit bold, and maybe make it a little bit bigger because it's the title of our chart. We want to step out as well. We've got communication guide. Shoot, this is being difficult. Communication guide. We're gonna do that, and then remember, and this I'm just going to be awkward, but I'm just going to go ahead and share you the screen. So I'm going to stop share. Going to go back to this document that I'm working from, and he had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows dedicated to disciplinary writing, 2 designated educational writing, and 3 rows dedicated to athletic writing. So disciplinary, educational, and athletic. So we're going to go back into the practice document that we're doing real quick. Okay, now this first row needs to be the names of our categories. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I highlight 5 rows, and I'm going to merge these cells. And remember, the first category was disciplinary writing. Okay. And so then the next 3 were, next 2, I'm sorry, were educational writing. So right click, I merge cells. We have educational writing. And then the last 3 were, or actually didn't have to do writing, did we? Just do educational, disciplinary, because we're just describing the categories as well. Disciplinary, educational, and the last 3 were athletic. So we're going to merge these cells. This last category is going to be athletic. Okay. And this over here, these are the list of categories that we had. So I'm going to stop sharing here. We're going to go back to this document we're working from. These are the categories across the top. So let's see if we can highlight this whole row here, copy it here, and then go back into our other document that we're working in. And we want this to go in the second row. So we're going to right click and we'll paste that. Nope, that doesn't look right. That doesn't look right. That doesn't look right. That looks right. So the fourth choice, and notice we're getting there as well. Now, a couple other things I notice, we're going to have to, we want to probably center everything within the columns as well. And I'm not going to go through doing the whole thing, but you see how I'm going from this which is pretty good content wise, but has some problems format wise, and I'm changing it to this, which again I'm not done, but because I did that thing at the beginning, I had the contents fit to the size of the cell. That second choice, when you insert a text, it's all fitting into one page. You will probably need to reduce the font size. Probably people can't read a lot smaller than 10, but if you make the font of most of the your documents about 10 point, and about a 10 point font, and there's some fonts that are easier to read There's a Bookman Zoll style and some others as well. Um, you can want, and obviously you want to capitalize all these, document, audience, things like that. I'm not going to go through and do the whole thing, but you can get it all into one page and you can format it right. I'm going to talk about color and boxes and things like that next time, and inserting some graphics, inserting a watermark if you want. So some more advanced techniques, but this basically just shows you how to formatting everything and getting on one page. And if you can do this and begin to fill out the content, you got a good start. So I'm going to stop there. I'm going to stop the video here. And thanks for your attention. I look forward to seeing what you come up with. You should hear from me individually on each of your field guides by Wednesday. Bye-bye now.